Bronny James suffered cardiac arrest on Monday, but he is in stable condition according to ESPN. I'm going to read out this quote. Yesterday, while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition and no longer in ICU. We ask for respect and privacy for the James family, and we will update media when there's more information. LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes. So I'm assuming that Bronny was probably practicing at USC at the time, and maybe it was a practice. He was getting ready just for next season when he's going to play college basketball. So I'm sure it could have happened probably doing some drill or something. Who knows? Maybe it just happened randomly while he was walking. So what this makes me think of really is during the 90s when I was a kid, I still remember Reggie Lewis, who was this promising young small forward that was playing for the Boston Celtics. He was a guy that the Celtics had been grooming for the last several years. He was still really young. I think at that time he must have been 27, 28, just entering his prime. But he was the guy that was going to succeed Larry Bird. Larry Bird had just retired a year earlier before Reggie suffered his death from cardiac arrest. But I still remember he got his first cardiac arrest attack back on 1993 during the playoffs in Game 1 against the Hornets. It was during the game, I believe, he collapsed, and he was able to obviously be able to survive that first attack. That he came back, but didn't come back for the series. He was still alive. But what I found interesting about that, and it was very controversial, was that he got diagnosed by one doctor, and he was diagnosed with a deadly condition in which he could never play basketball again. That the doctor had warned him that, hey, if you play again, this could be the end of your life. You don't want to risk your life over a career. So Reggie didn't want to listen to that doctor, so he got a second opinion, and the doctor who gave him the second opinion basically told him like he was only suffering from a minor heart condition and he could return to basketball. So during the off season in the summer of 93, during a practice at some place, he ended up dying of cardiac arrest. So that just shows you how delicate this type of situation is for Bronny. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to pass away randomly from playing basketball, but it's a situation where you got to be very careful, and you got to make sure he gets the proper diagnosis. Maybe it's not as a big of a deal as a lot of people, including myself, think it is, but it's still important that he gets checked and he gets several opinions on whatever it costs us. It could possibly be major in the sense that he may never be able to play basketball again at a high level due to the risks that could be involved for him. So I think obviously that LeBron and Bronny need to be very careful when it comes to this situation. You would think LeBron will hire the best doctors and medical staff to make sure everything is okay with Bronny before he can return to playing basketball again. But I was also thinking that this probably could impact LeBron's dream, which is being able to play with Bronny, which he's been hoping to do for a while now. I think this is like the last thing he had really to be excited about when it comes to his basketball career, since LeBron is definitely, in my eyes, not winning any more championships. So this was probably the last milestone for him to reach. That may be in jeopardy now, depending on Bronny's medical condition. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this situation.